Okay, so now let us look at the cropping pattern. So we discussed the types of agriculture, the subsistence, intensive subsistence, as well as commercial slash plantations. Now we will look at the cropping pattern. So we've already studied the physical diversities and the plurality of cultures in India. These are also reflected in the agricultural practices and cropping patterns in the country. Various type of food and fiber crops, vegetables and fruits, spices and condiments, etc. They constitute some of the important crops grown in the country. India has three cropping seasons: Rabi, Kharif, and Zaid. Let's try to understand these three in a bit more detail. So, Rabi crops, when are they sown? They are sown in winter from October to December, and they are harvested in summer from April to June. So, you need to know when are they sown and when are they harvested. Okay. Then, what are examples of these Rabi crops? They are wheat, barley, peas, gram, and mustard. Though these crops, and again, so that is it, right? So this is some examples of the crops. So that's the second part. So it's like the duration of, okay. Then you have examples, and then you look at the geography or regions where these are grown. So these crops are grown in large parts of India, the states from Punjab and northwestern parts, the states from the north and northwestern parts such as Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, and Uttar Pradesh are important for the production of wheat and other rabi crops. uh, Availability of precipitation during winter months due to the western temperate cyclones helps in the success of this crop. So this kind of defines the environmental condition needed for the success of this. However, the success of the green revolution in Punjab, Haryana, so the green revolution is a key idea, and the parts of Rajasthan has also been an important factor in the growth of the above mentioned rabi crops. Then we look at the Kharif crops. They are grown with the onset of monsoon in different parts of the country, and these are harvested in September to October. The kind of crops that are grown in this season are paddy, maize, jowar, bajra, tuwar, or also known as arhar, moong, urad, cotton, jute, groundnut, and soybean. Some of the most important rice growing regions are Assam, West Bengal, coastal regions of Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Maharashtra, particularly the Konkan coast, along with Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Recently, paddy has also become an important crop of Punjab and Haryana. In states like Assam, West Bengal, and Odisha, three crops of paddy are grown in a year. These are Os, Aman, and Boro. Now, in between Rabi and Kharif seasons, there is a short season during the summer that is known as the Zaid season. Some of the crops produced during Zaid are watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, vegetables, and fodder crops. Sugarcane takes almost a year to grow. So, having looked at the Rabi, Kharif, and Zaid cropping seasons, what the examples of the crops that are grown in these seasons, and what are the kind of conditions that are needed for the growth of the crops during these seasons, we will now look into the major crops. So a variety of food and non-food crops, right? So we don't just grow only food, we also grow other non-food crops. They are grown in different parts of the country depending on the variations in soil, climate, and cultivation practices. So these are the three key things that you have to keep in mind: soil, climate, and cultivation practices as we look at the different crops. Okay, major crops grown in India are rice, wheat, millets, pulses, tea, coffee, sugarcane, oilseeds, cotton and jute, and so on. So let's start with rice. Now, rice is a staple food crop of a majority of the people in India. Our country is the second largest producer of rice in the world after China. Rice is a kharif crop which requires high temperature, that is above 25 degrees, and high humidity, with annual rainfall above 100 centimeter. In the areas of less rainfall, it grows with the help of irrigation. So this is very important, that wherever you have temperatures above 25-degree as well as annual rainfall above 100 centimeter is the ideal cultivation for rice. And you can see here are two pictures in which you can see that the soil is a little bit humid and wet. It's early phases, and this picture 4.4b shows when rice is ready to be harvested in the field. So here is a very important picture, the map of India, which shows the major area and the minor area of the rice. Okay, and you can see why these regions are more suitable. That has to do again with the higher temperatures, that is about 25-degree, as well as the needed humidity. Now there are some regions where you may have to provide irrigation in case if there is not that much rainfall. So this is something for you to investigate. What are those areas where rice is grown, um, primarily with the help of irrigation? Now, rice is grown in the plains of north and northeastern India, coastal areas, and the deltaic regions. So, the development of dense network of canal irrigation and tube wells have made it possible to grow rice in areas of less rainfall such as Punjab, Haryana, and western Uttar Pradesh and parts of Rajasthan. So, this is something that we were looking at, we just discussed before this paragraph. Do have a little bit of a Google search and see what kind of practices like in terms of irrigation are used to grow rice in these regions. Now let us look at wheat. So wheat is the second most important cereal crop. It is also the main food crop in north and northwestern part of the country. This is a rabi crop and it requires a cool growing season and a bright sunshine at the time of ripening. It requires about 50 to 75 centimeter of annual rainfall evenly distributed over the growing season. You can see this evenly distributed. There are two important wheat growing zones in the country: the Ganga Satluj plains in the northwest and the black soil region of the Deccan. So you need to remember this. The major wheat producing states are Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, and Rajasthan. Okay, now let us look at millets. So, millets include grains like jowar, bajra, and ragi. They are the important millets grown in India. Though these are known as coarse grains, they have very high nutritional value. For example, ragi is very rich in iron, calcium, and other micronutrients and roughage. Jowar is the third most important food crop with respect to area and production. It is a rain fed crop mostly grown in the moist areas in which hardly needs irrigation. Major jowar producing states are Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and Madhya Pradesh. Now, if we look at bajra, so bajra grows well on sandy soils and shallow black soil. Major bajra producing states are Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Haryana. Then we come to ragi. So ragi is a crop of dry regions and grows well on red, black, sandy, loamy, and shallow black soils. So major ragi producing states are Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Jharkhand, and Arunachal Pradesh. Then we look at maize. So maize is a crop which is used both as well a food as well as a fodder. It is a kharif crop which requires temperatures between 21 degrees to 27 degrees centigrade and grows well in an old alluvial soil. In some states like Bihar, maize is grown in Rabi season also. Use of modern inputs such as high yielding variety seeds, fertilizers, and irrigation have contributed to the increasing production of maize. Major maize producing states are Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana. And this is the picture for the wheat which we discussed earlier. Please do spend some time to remember the regions which are the major as well as the minor areas for the wheat production in India. Now let us look at pulses. So India is the largest producer as well as the consumer of pulses in the world. These are the major source of protein in a vegetarian diet. Major pulses that are grown in India are tuar or arhar, urad, moong, masoor, peas, and gram. Now, are you able to distinguish which of these pulses are grown in the Kharif season and which are grown in the Rabi season? Pulses need less moisture and survive even in dry conditions. Being leguminous crops, these crops except arhar help in restoring the soil fertility by fixing nitrogen from the air. Therefore, these are mostly grown in rotation with other crops. Major pulse producing states in India: Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, and Karnataka. Now let us look at food crops other than grains. So we start with sugarcane. So sugarcane is a tropical as well as a subtropical crop. It grows well in hot and humid climate with a temperature of 21 to 27 and an annual rainfall between 75 and 100 centimeters. Irrigation is required in the regions of low rainfall. It can be grown on a variety of soils and needs manual labor from sowing to harvesting. India is the second largest producer of sugarcane only after Brazil. It is the main source of sugar, gur or jaggery, khandsari, and molasses. The major sugarcane producing states are Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Bihar, Punjab, and Haryana. Now let us look at the oil seeds. So in 2018, India was the second largest producer of groundnut in the world after China. In rapeseed production, India was the third largest producer in the world after Canada and China in 2018. Different oilseeds are grown covering approximately 12% of the total cropped area in the country, so significant portion. Now, main oilseeds produced in India are groundnut, mustard, coconut, sesame or til, soya bean, castor seeds, cotton seeds, linseed, and sunflower. Now, most of these are edible and used as cooking mediums. However, some of these are also used as raw material in the production of soap, cosmetics, and ointments. Groundnut specifically is a kharif crop and accounts for about half of the major oilseeds produced in the country. Gujarat was the largest producer of groundnut, followed by Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu in 2019-20. Linseed and mustard are rabi crops. Sesame is a kharif crop in the north and a rabi crop in South India. Castor seed is grown both as a rabi and a kharif crop. Now let us look at tea. I'm sure everybody likes tea or coffee. Um, so let's look at tea. So tea cultivation is an example of a plantation agriculture. It is an important beverage crop introduced in India initially by the British. Today, most of the tea plantations are owned by Indians. The tea plant grows well in tropical and subtropical climates, endowed with deep and fertile, well trained soil, rich in humus and organic matter. Tea bushes require warm and moist, frost free climate all through the year. Frequent showers, evenly distributed over the year, ensure continuous growth of tender leaves. Now, tea is a very labor intensive industry. It requires abundant, cheap, and skilled labor. Tea is processed within the tea garden to restore its freshness. Now, major tea producing states are Assam, hills of Darjeeling, and Jalpaiguri districts, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala. Apart from this, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Meghalaya, Andhra Pradesh, and Tripura are also tree producing states in the country. In 2018, India was the second largest producer of tea after China. Now let us look at coffee. So, Indian coffee is known in the world for its good quality. The Arabica variety, initially brought from Yemen, is produced in the country. This variety is in great demand all over the world. Initially, its cultivation was introduced on the Baba Budan hills, and even today, its cultivation is confined to Nilgiri in Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. Now, let us look at the horticulture crops. So, in 2018, India was the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables. So, horticulture refers to fruits and vegetables. Okay, so India was the largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world after China. India is a producer of tropical as well as temperate fruits. Mangoes of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh, and West Bengal. Oranges of Nagpur and Cherrapunji, that is in Meghalaya. Bananas of Kerala, Mizoram, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. Lychee and guava of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Pineapples of Meghalaya. Grapes of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Maharashtra. Apples, pears, apricots, and walnuts of Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh are in great demand the world over. And here are just some of the beautiful pictures which show apricots, apple, pomegranate, as well as vegetables like peas, cauliflower, tomato, and brinjal grown in India. So, India is also an important producer of pea, cauliflower, onion, cabbage, tomato, brinjal, and potato. Now, let us look at the non food crops. So, rubber is an equatorial crop, but under special conditions, it is also grown in tropical and subtropical areas. It requires moist and humid climate with rainfall of more than 200 centimeter and temperatures about 25 degrees centigrade. Rubber is an important industrial raw material. It is mainly grown in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Garo Hills of Meghalaya. Fiber crops like cotton, jute, hemp, and natural silk are four major fiber crops grown in India. The first three are derived from the crops grown in the soil. The latter is obtained from the cocoons of the silkworms fed on the green leaves, especially mulberry. Rearing of silkworms for the production of silk fiber is known as sericulture. Let's look at cotton. So, India is believed to be the original home of the cotton plant. Cotton is one of the main raw materials for cotton textile industry. In 2017, India was the largest producer of cotton after China. Cotton grows well in drier parts of the black cotton soil of the Deccan Plateau. It requires high temperature, light rainfall or irrigation, 210 frost free days, and bright sunshine for its growth. It is a kharif crop and requires 6 to 8 months to mature. Major cotton producing states are Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. Now let us look at jute. So, jute is known as the golden fiber. Jute grows well on well drained fertile soils in the flood plains where soils are renewed every year. High temperature is required during the time of the growth. West Bengal, Bihar, Assam, Odisha, and Meghalaya are the major jute producing states. And it is used in making gunny bags, mats, ropes, yarn, carpets, and other artifacts. So, due to its high cost, it is losing market to synthetic fibers and packing materials, particularly the nylon. So this has been a bit of a longer video because I tried to cover all the main categories of crops and the seasons in one video. So let's quickly just again summarize what we discussed. We looked at the different the cropping pattern, that is Rabi, Kharif, and Zaid. We look at the major crops, and mainly focusing on the soil, climate, and cultivation practices for rice. We looked at this picture of how where rice is grown in India. We looked at wheat. We looked at maize, millets. Okay, so these are the staple crops. We looked at pulses. Then we also looked at food crops that are not the grains, which include sugarcane, oil seeds, tea, coffee, and we also looked at horticultural crops where they are grown. Okay, and we looked at the non-food crops like rubber, fiber crops, which include cotton and jute. So in the next video we will look at the technological and institutional reforms in agriculture.